Indonesia, an archipelago of over 17,000 islands, is renowned not only for its rich cultural heritage, but also for its exceptional biodiversity. From towering volcanoes to lush rainforests, this vibrant country is home to a staggering variety of wildlife, including some of the world's most stunning and unique bird species. With ecosystems ranging from tropical jungles to remote islands, Indonesia provides the perfect environment for these remarkable creatures. The birds here are not just rare, they are the product of millions of years of evolution in isolation, thriving in habitats that exist nowhere else on Earth. Some species can only be found in specific regions, where their environments remain largely untouched by human hands, allowing them to flourish in ways that would be impossible elsewhere. In this video, we'll explore most beautiful birds in Indonesia. Javan rhinoceros hornbill, Buceros rhinoceros. Have you ever seen a bird with a horn like a rhino, eyes like burning coals, and wings that cast shadows over the jungle floor? Deep in the tropical rainforests of Java and the Greater Sunda region lives a creature so dramatic, it almost feels mythical. The Javan rhinoceros hornbill. Its name isn't just poetic, it comes from the massive curved casque on top of its beak, which strongly resembles the horn of a rhinoceros. This casque isn't just for looks, it's hollow and acts like a built-in amplifier, making the bird's low, echoing call carry far through the dense canopy. This booming voice, paired with its striking silhouette, has made the hornbill a symbol of strength and mystery in many local cultures. Growing up to 3 feet in length and boasting a wingspan of over 5 feet, the Javan rhinoceros hornbill is one of the largest hornbill species in Southeast Asia. Its body is cloaked in velvety black feathers, with a bold white tail that fans out as it flies. Males and females are surprisingly easy to tell apart. The males have vivid red eyes, while the females have soft white ones, giving them distinct expressions. Every inch of this bird is built for spectacle, from its slow, graceful flight to the heavy whoosh of its beating wings. It doesn't just move through the jungle, it announces its presence with every flap. As an omnivore, the Javan rhinoceros hornbill feeds primarily on fruits, especially figs, but will also hunt insects, small reptiles, and even other birds if the opportunity arises. During the breeding season, it performs one of the most extraordinary nesting rituals in the bird world. The female chooses a natural hole in a tree, climbs inside, and seals herself in using mud, droppings, and bits of food, leaving only a narrow slit through which the male feeds her, sometimes for up to 3 months. Inside that dark cavity, she lays her eggs, raises the chicks, and trusts her partner completely. It's a powerful example of commitment and cooperation in the wild. With a lifespan reaching 30 to 35 years, this bird is not only a visual wonder, but also a lifelong partner and parent, a true treasure of Indonesia's ancient forests. Black-capped lory, Lorius domicella. What if you found a bird that looked like it had been dipped in red velvet, brushed with royal blue and topped with a shiny black cap? That's the black-capped lory, a stunning parrot species native to the Maluku Islands of Indonesia, also known as the fabled Spice Islands. The name black-capped comes from the bird's most recognizable feature, a sleek, glossy black crown covering the top of its head, like it's wearing a custom-fitted hat. This elegant cap sets it apart from other lories and adds a touch of bold charm to an already colorful bird. This lory may be small, but it's impossible to overlook. It measures about 12 inches long, roughly the size of a foot-long sub-sandwich. But its vivid crimson body, blue underparts, and flashes of green and purple on its wings and tail make it look like a flying rainbow. When it takes flight, its feathers shimmer in the light, creating a dazzling display that turns heads in the treetops. Its large hooked orange beak isn't just for show. It's built to crush fruit and crack seeds with ease. The contrast between the black head and the rest of its colorful body gives the black-capped lory a stylish, almost royal appearance, earning it a place among the most striking parrots on Earth. But this bird isn't just about looks. The black-capped lory is a fruit-loving nectar feeder, using its unique brush-tipped tongue to sip sweet flower nectar, much like a hummingbird. It also enjoys soft fruits, berries, seeds, and the occasional insect. Highly social and vocal, these parrots are usually found in pairs or small flocks, communicating through sharp, chattering calls. During breeding season, they nest in tree cavities, where the female lays 2 to 3 eggs and incubates them for just over 3 weeks. Once hatched, the chicks are raised with care by both parents. In the wild, or with proper care, these lories can live up to 30 years, making them not just a visual marvel, but also a long-lasting presence in Indonesia's vibrant forest life. Gurney's pitta, Pitta gurney. Named after British ornithologist J.H. Gurney, who first described the species in the 19th century, this rare bird belongs to the colorful pitta family, known for their vibrant plumage and shy nature. Once feared extinct, Gurney's pitta has become a symbol of hope for Southeast Asian bird conservation, as researchers continue to search for and protect it in Sumatra's tropical forests. Gurney's pitta is a small, ground-dwelling bird, measuring about 7 inches in length. The male is unmistakable, wearing a coat of deep blue underparts, a golden-yellow crown and nape, black head and throat, and bold white wing bars that flash in the dim forest light. Females are duller, with brownish backs and a faded blue belly, but still charming in their own right. These birds prefer dense undergrowth and bamboo thickets, moving quietly through the forest floor and only calling with a soft, musical whistle. Their diet consists mostly of insects, worms, and small invertebrates, which they find by probing the leaf litter. Gurney's pittas are territorial and monogamous, nesting low to the ground and laying 2 to 4 eggs in a carefully hidden cup-shaped nest. In the wild, their lifespan is estimated to be 6 to 10 years, though few individuals have been observed consistently. Classified as critically endangered, their survival depends heavily on protecting the last fragments of lowland rainforest in southern Myanmar and Sumatra. With its glowing colors and near-mythical status, Gurney's pitta is not only one of Indonesia's most beautiful birds, it's also one of its most urgently in need of protection. Yellow-faced myna, Mino dumontii. In the rain-soaked forests of New Guinea and nearby Indonesian islands, there lives a bird with a face so striking, it looks like it's wearing a golden mask. This is the yellow-faced myna, a loud, social, and spectacular species that belongs to the starling family. Its name comes from its most eye-catching feature, the bright yellow skin that stretches across its face, covering the cheeks and around the eyes like a bold, natural costume. The species name, dumontii, honors French naturalist Dumont d'Urville, known for his explorations of the Pacific. With a powerful voice and colorful appearance, the yellow-faced myna is one of Indonesia's most unforgettable songbirds. Measuring about 10 to 12 inches long, roughly the size of a football, this bird is a visual standout in the canopy. Its glossy black plumage has a subtle purple sheen, making it shimmer in the sunlight. The wings and tail show flashes of white when it takes flight, while the intense yellow facial skin, paired with a bright orange beak and legs, creates a look that's both exotic and expressive. It almost seems to wear a permanent look of surprise. Despite its beauty, what truly makes this bird special is its energetic behavior. It hops, flaps, and chatters constantly, often perching in high branches and calling out with loud, squawking notes that echo through the jungle. The yellow-faced myna is omnivorous, feeding on a mix of fruits, insects, and nectar. It plays an important role in the forest as a seed disperser, helping plants spread by eating fruit and dropping seeds across wide areas. These birds often live in small, noisy groups, especially during the breeding season. They nest high up in tree cavities, where the female lays a small clutch of eggs and both parents care for the chicks. In the wild, they can live 10 to 15 years, and in rare cases, even longer in protected environments. With its bold personality, brilliant face, and vital role in the forest ecosystem, the yellow-faced myna is much more than just a beautiful bird. It's a living spark of color and sound in Indonesia's treetop world. Bird of paradise, Paradisea rudolphi. In the remote cloud forests of Indonesia, there exists a bird so mesmerizing it once made European explorers believe they had found a creature from heaven. This is the bird of paradise, specifically Paradisea rudolphi, also known as Rudolphi's bird of paradise. It was named in honor of Crown Prince Rudolph of Austria during the golden age of natural discovery. The name bird of paradise itself stems from early legends. When dried specimens reached Europe in the 16th century without wings or feet, people believed they never touched the ground and lived only in the sky. While the truth is far less mystical, one look at this bird in motion, with its flowing feathers and courtship dance, makes it easy to see how the myth was born. This species is medium-sized, measuring around 12 inches in length, but it's the feathers that steal the show. Males wear a cloak of shimmering midnight blue and velvet black, set against a sky blue bill and white throat. But the true spectacle lies in their delicate powder blue ornamental plumes that cascade down from the sides, forming two elegant veils used during elaborate mating displays. When a male performs, he hangs upside down, spreads his wings, and fans out these feathers like a curtain of light, a performance designed to dazzle and impress. Females, by contrast, are more muted in color, helping them stay camouflaged as they raise their young. Like other birds of paradise, Paradisea rudolphi feeds mostly on fruits, berries, and soft-bodied insects, hopping among branches and using its sharp beak to pluck food from foliage. These birds are usually solitary or found in small groups, with males gathering in leks to perform their competitive courtship dances. Nests are built high in the forest canopy, where the female lays 1 to 2 eggs and raises the chicks alone. Their average lifespan in the wild is 5 to 8 years, though some can live longer in protected environments. Mysterious, elegant, and one of the most stunning dancers in the natural world, Rudolphi's bird of paradise is a living work of art and a dazzling jewel of Indonesia's forests. Tanimbar corella, Kakatua goffiniana. On a small group of islands tucked between the Banda and Arafura seas, a brilliant white parrot calls the treetops home. Meet the Tanimbar corella, also known as Goffin's cockatoo, a charming and intelligent bird found only on the Tanimbar Islands of Indonesia. The species name goffiniana honors Andreas Leopold Goffin, a Dutch naval officer, while the common name, Tanimbar corella, highlights the bird's native range. Despite its small size, this cockatoo has become famous not just for its beauty, but for its incredible brain power. In fact, it's one of the few bird species known to use tools, solve puzzles, and even show a playful sense of humor. The Tanimbar corella is a small to medium-sized parrot, growing up to about 12 inches in length, roughly the size of a standard ruler. Its plumage is a soft, clean white, sometimes showing a subtle pink blush around the face and throat. Its peach-colored eye-ring and gray legs give it a gentle, curious expression, while its short crest can be raised when excited or alarmed. Don't let the soft look fool you. This bird is full of energy and personality. It's extremely agile and social, often seen in small, noisy flocks, flying in bursts through the treetops or foraging together on the ground. Tanimbar corellas are omnivores, with a diet that includes seeds, fruits, berries, nuts, and insects. They're especially skilled at cracking open hard shells with their strong, curved beaks. In the wild, they breed during the dry season, nesting in tree hollows, where the female lays 2 to 3 eggs. Both parents share in feeding and raising the chicks, with a lifespan of 30 to 40 years and sometimes even longer in captivity. These birds form strong bonds with mates and flock members. Though they're listed as near threatened due to habitat loss and illegal trapping, their intelligence, resilience, and stunning white appearance continue to make the Tanimbar corella one of Indonesia's most beautiful and fascinating birds. Bali starling, Leucopsa rothschildi. Hidden within the dry forests of northwestern Bali, there lives a bird so rare and radiant that it's often called a living pearl. This is the Bali starling, also known as the Bali myna, Indonesia's national bird and one of the most critically endangered species on the planet. Its scientific name, Leucopsa rothschildi, honors Lord Walter Rothschild, the British ornithologist who first described the species in 1912. The name Leucopsa combines Greek roots meaning white starling, a fitting tribute to the bird's snow-white feathers. Once found across Bali, the species nearly vanished in the wild due to illegal trapping, making it a powerful symbol of both beauty and survival. Measuring around 9 inches long, about the size of a soda can, the Bali starling is instantly recognizable. Its entire body is covered in silky white plumage, accented by jet black wingtips and tail feathers. What truly sets it apart is its bare, vivid blue skin around the eyes, giving it the look of a bird wearing a delicate mask. It also has a small, feathery crest that it can raise when alert or excited, adding even more elegance to its already regal appearance. Despite its bright coloring, the Bali starling can blend surprisingly well into sunlit tree branches, especially when perched quietly, though its melodic whistling calls often give it away. Bali starlings are omnivorous, feeding on a variety of insects, fruits, seeds, and small invertebrates. They forage both on the ground and in trees, especially during the early morning and late afternoon. During breeding season, they pair up to nest in tree cavities, where the female usually lays 2 to 3 eggs. Both parents take turns feeding the chicks. In the wild, their lifespan is estimated to be around 10 to 15 years, but they can live longer under human care. Thanks to dedicated conservation programs and reintroduction efforts, the Bali starling has slowly begun to make a comeback. Still, seeing one in the wild is a truly magical experience, a glimpse of Bali's rarest beauty, alive against all odds. Great-billed parrot, Tanignathus megalorhynchos. In the tropical forests of eastern Indonesia, a flash of green and a bold orange beak reveal the presence of a quiet but powerful beauty, the great-billed parrot. Native to the Maluku Islands, Sulawesi, and nearby archipelagos, this parrot is known for its strong presence and, as the name suggests, its oversized beak. The species name megalorhynchos comes from Greek, meaning large beak, while Tanignathus, the genus name, means long jaw. This parrot doesn't just have a striking appearance, it also plays an important role in forest ecosystems as a seed disperser and fruit forager. The great-billed parrot is a medium to large parrot, measuring about 15 to 17 inches in length, around the size of a bowling pin. Its plumage is mostly a rich emerald green with a splash of turquoise blue on the flight feathers and a short squared tail. But the real attention grabber is its large, bright orange-red beak, which looks almost oversized for its face. Males and females are similar in appearance, though females may be slightly smaller. Its eyes are intelligent and alert, and its movements through the trees are calm and deliberate. This is a bird that doesn't rush, but it certainly stands out. This parrot feeds mainly on fruits, seeds, nuts, and occasionally blossoms, using its strong beak to crack through tough shells and pulp. It forages quietly in the upper canopy and is usually seen alone or in pairs, rarely forming large flocks. During breeding season, it nests in tree cavities, where the female lays 2 to 3 eggs. Both parents take part in feeding and caring for the young. The great-billed parrot can live up to 30 years in the wild, and even longer in captivity under proper care. Though not as widely known as some of its colorful relatives, this parrot is a quiet star of Indonesia's forests. Strong, stunning, and unmistakably one of the country's most beautiful birds. Sulawesi hornbill, Rhinoceros cassidix. Deep in the tropical forests of Sulawesi, one of Indonesia's most uniquely shaped islands, lives a bird that looks like it was carved from a myth. This is the Sulawesi hornbill, also known as the knobbed hornbill, a species found only on this island and a few nearby islets. Its scientific name, Rhinoceros cassidix, comes from Greek and Latin. Rhinoceros refers to its wrinkled horn-like casque, and cassidix relates to a helmet, highlighting the bird's most prominent feature, the large, bright casque on top of its beak. This casque isn't just for show. It plays a role in communication, sound resonance, and even attracting mates. With its bold appearance and island exclusivity, the Sulawesi hornbill is one of Indonesia's most iconic forest residents. This bird is impressive in size, reaching up to 35 inches long, nearly the length of a baseball bat, and has a wingspan of over 5 feet. Males are especially striking, with jet-black bodies, a bright yellow beak, and a fiery red casque that curves upward like a crown. Their bare skin around the eyes and throat glows deep blue, while females look similar but with a black casque and facial skin, helping distinguish the sexes. The hornbill's flight is slow and powerful, with deep, whooshing wing beats that echo through the jungle. Despite their size, they are surprisingly agile in flight, weaving through the canopy with grace. Sulawesi hornbills are omnivores, but their diet is mainly made up of fruits, particularly figs. They also eat insects, small animals, and even bird eggs when available. These hornbills are known for their incredible breeding behavior. The female seals herself inside a tree cavity, leaving only a narrow slit through which the male feeds her for weeks, while she incubates the eggs and raises the chicks. This act of trust and partnership is one of the most remarkable in the bird world. In the wild, they can live up to 35 years, forming long-term pair bonds. As Sulawesi's forests shrink due to logging and agriculture, the survival of this hornbill is increasingly at risk. Mangrove pitta, Pitta megarincha. Hidden within the dense, tangled roots of Indonesia's coastal mangroves lives a bird that looks like it was painted by hand. Meet the mangrove pitta, a rare and colorful ground-dwelling bird that makes its home in the wet, muddy forests along the coasts of Sumatra, Borneo, and other parts of Southeast Asia. Its name tells us 2 important things. Mangrove refers to its specialized habitat, while megarincha comes from Greek and means large beak, a fitting description for this bird's noticeably strong and thick bill. Adapted for life in lowland swamps and coastal thickets, the mangrove pitta is a shy and secretive bird, but its beauty is anything but quiet. This pitta measures about 8.5 to 9 inches in length, roughly the size of a soda can. but its colors are bold and unforgettable. It has a vibrant turquoise-blue back and wings, a chestnut crown, a black mask across its face, and a bright red patch on the lower belly. Its throat and chest are a clean buff color, providing a striking contrast to the more intense hues of its wings and tail. The mangrove pitta is a strong, silent type, not one for showy displays but full of character. When it does call out, its voice is a sharp, two-note whistle that cuts cleanly through the dense mangrove air. The mangrove pitta is a carnivorous forager, feeding primarily on crabs, insects, worms, and snails, which it finds by hopping across the forest floor and digging through the mud with its stout beak. It builds a large, dome-shaped nest made of twigs and leaves, usually tucked away in thick vegetation just above ground level. The female lays 2 to 5 eggs, and both parents take turns feeding the chicks. Its lifespan in the wild is still being studied, but it's believed to live 10 to 15 years under natural conditions. Unfortunately, with ongoing threats from mangrove deforestation and coastal development, the mangrove pitta's future is uncertain. But for those who catch a rare glimpse of this jewel-toned bird among the mangroves, it feels like discovering a secret treasure hidden between land and sea. West Sumatran, Great Argus, Argusianus argus. This is the West Sumatran great argus, a subspecies of one of the most extraordinary pheasants on Earth. The name argus comes from Greek mythology, Argus Panoptes, the giant with 100 eyes, a reference to the eye-like patterns on the male's extravagant feathers. The great argus as a species, Argusianus argus, is already known for its dramatic mating displays, but the West Sumatran subspecies is found only in the mountainous forests of western Sumatra, making it one of Indonesia's rarest and most spectacular birds. This bird is impressively large, with males reaching up to 6.5 feet in total length, though much of that is made up by their incredibly long tail and wing feathers. Females are smaller, measuring around 2.5 feet, and are less colorful, helping them stay camouflaged while nesting. The male's body is a rich chocolate brown, with lighter underparts, and a striking blue-gray head. But the true marvel is in the wings, long, slender feathers covered in detailed eyes that shimmer like mirrors. During courtship, the male clears a patch of forest floor and spreads his wings into a fan-like display, turning slowly in a circle to impress the female. It's like a living work of art in motion. The West Sumatran great argus is an omnivore, feeding mostly on fruits, seeds, insects, and small invertebrates it finds while foraging on the forest floor. It's a ground-dwelling species, walking long distances each day and relying on camouflage to stay hidden from predators. Breeding season brings elaborate displays, but after mating, the female takes on the task of nesting and raising the chicks alone, usually laying 2 eggs in a simple ground nest. This subspecies is considered near threatened due to habitat loss and hunting, and its range is limited to a small portion of Sumatra's forests. With a lifespan of up to 15 to 20 years, the West Sumatran great argus isn't just beautiful. It's a symbol of wild Indonesia's elegance, mystery, and fragility. Vogelkop bowerbird, Amblyomys inornata. In the misty highland forests of the Vogelkop Peninsula in West Papua, Indonesia, lives a bird that doesn't use feathers to attract a mate. It uses interior design. Meet the Vogelkop bowerbird, a master of creativity and one of nature's most surprising romantics. Its name comes from its home. Vogelkop means bird's head in Dutch, referring to the shape of the peninsula, and inornata, meaning plain or unadorned, reflects its modest plumage. But don't be fooled by its looks. This bird is anything but ordinary. What makes it remarkable is not its colors, but what it builds. The Vogelkop bowerbird is a medium-sized songbird measuring about 9 to 10 inches long, about the size of a large smartphone. Its feathers are mostly dull olive brown, without the flashy brilliance of its relatives like birds of paradise. But what it lacks in color, it makes up for with exceptional intelligence and artistic instinct. The male spends weeks, even months, building a meticulously crafted bower, a hut-like structure made from twigs, with a small courtyard decorated using colorful objects like berries, flowers, snail shells, beetle wings, and even human trash like bottle caps or plastic bits. Each bower is custom designed and carefully arranged to impress visiting females. It's a performance of patience, precision, and personality. As an omnivore, the Vogelkop bowerbird feeds on a mix of fruits, seeds, and insects, foraging through the undergrowth with quiet focus. It typically lives alone outside of the breeding season, and males defend their bowers fiercely from rivals. The female chooses a mate based on the quality of the bower and the male's display, then builds her own nest elsewhere to raise her young. She lays 1 or 2 eggs in a hidden nest, usually in dense foliage. Though their exact lifespan in the wild is still being studied, they are believed to live around 10 to 15 years. While other birds show off with feathers and dances, the Vogelkop bowerbird shows off with architecture and creativity. Javan hawk eagle, Nicetus bartelsi. High in the mist-covered forests of Java, Indonesia's most populated island, soars a bird that few have seen, but many revere. This is the Javan hawk eagle, a rare raptor that has become a national symbol of pride and conservation. Its scientific name, Nicetus bartelsi, honors Max Bartels, a Dutch naturalist who studied Java's birds in the early 20th century. With its regal crest and fierce golden eyes, the Javan hawk eagle is often believed to have inspired the mythical Garuda, Indonesia's national emblem. A bird with a presence as powerful as its wingspan, it represents strength, independence, and the untamed beauty of the island's wild interior. This eagle is medium-sized for a raptor, measuring about 24 to 28 inches long, with a wingspan of up to 4.5 feet. It's instantly recognizable by its long, slender crest of black feathers that fans backward from the top of its head. The body is mostly dark brown with rich golden buff underparts, and bold streaking across the chest gives it a striking, almost tiger-like appearance. Juveniles tend to be paler, but no less fierce-looking. The Javan hawk eagle flies with a powerful glide, soaring silently above the treetops in search of prey, yet always appearing calm and in control, the very image of wild grace. This bird is a skilled predator, feeding mostly on small mammals, birds, and reptiles, such as squirrels, lizards, and even other birds. It prefers dense primary forests where it can perch silently and ambush its prey from above. During breeding season, a monogamous pair will choose a tall tree to build a large stick nest, usually placing it high in the canopy. The female lays just 1 egg, and both parents care for the chick, which takes several months to fledge. With a lifespan of up to 30 years in the wild, the Javan hawk eagle is not just a hunter. It's a long-term guardian of its territory. But with deforestation threatening its native habitat, this majestic eagle is now critically endangered, making every sighting a rare and unforgettable encounter with one of Indonesia's most iconic birds. Red and blue lory, Eos histrio. On a handful of remote islands in northern Indonesia, there lives a parrot so vibrant it looks like it flew straight out of a painting. This is the red and blue lory, a striking bird native to the Sangihe and Talud Islands just north of Sulawesi. Its scientific name, Eos histrio, is as colorful as the bird itself. Eos refers to the Greek goddess of dawn, while histrio means actor or performer, a nod to the bird's bold appearance and theatrical behavior. True to its name, the red and blue lory is a performer in the treetops, energetic, social, and impossible to ignore. This lory is small to medium in size, measuring about 12 inches long, roughly the length of a standard ruler. Its plumage is a dazzling combination of deep crimson red on the head, chest, and belly, with bold electric blue patches on the wings, back, and thighs. The beak is bright orange, and the eyes gleam with intelligence. Males and females look alike, both dressed in the same dramatic colors. Fast and agile in flight, the red and blue lory moves in tight flocks, chattering constantly and flashing color as they dart between treetops, like flying sparks against the green forest canopy. This bird is a nectar and fruit specialist, feeding mainly on flower nectar, soft fruits, pollen, and occasionally insects. Its tongue is brush-tipped, perfectly adapted for sipping nectar from blossoms. In the wild, it can live up to 20 years, though habitat destruction and illegal trapping have pushed the species into a vulnerable state. Now listed as critically endangered, its numbers have dropped dramatically due to forest loss and the pet trade. Sulawesi crested myna, Acridotherus cristatellus. In the open woodlands and villages of Sulawesi, a sleek black bird with a punk rock hairstyle struts confidently through the trees. Meet the Sulawesi crested myna, a bold and clever songbird known for its unique look and sharp intelligence. The name myna refers to a group of starling-like birds known for their vocal talents, while cristatellus means crested, referring to the bird's distinctive feathered crest that curves upward from its forehead. Though similar species are found across Southeast Asia, this particular crested myna is endemic to Sulawesi, making it a special part of Indonesia's avian diversity. This bird is medium-sized, measuring around 10 to 11 inches long, about the size of a dinner plate from beak to tail. Its plumage is glossy black, with a hint of iridescent sheen under sunlight, and it sports a bushy black crest that gives it a quirky, expressive look. A bright yellow-orange patch of bare skin around the eyes and a matching yellow bill and legs create a vivid contrast with its dark body. The Sulawesi crested myna is an omnivore, feeding on a wide variety of fruits, seeds, insects, and even small reptiles or scraps. Its adaptability allows it to live near human settlements as well as in natural forests. In the wild, these birds can live 10 to 15 years, and they often stay in small social flocks throughout the year. With its clever mind, distinctive crest, and vibrant personality, the Sulawesi crested myna might not be the flashiest bird on this list, but it's certainly one of the most charismatic and full of character. Lesser Bornean banded pitta, Pitta doherty. In the dark, damp forests of Borneo, a brilliantly colored bird exists, resembling a living jewel more than a forest creature. This is the Lesser Bornean banded pitta, a rare and stunning ground-dwelling bird found in the lowland rainforests of Kalimantan, the Indonesian part of Borneo. The name pitta refers to its genus, known for bright tropical birds that dwell close to the ground. The word doherty honors American zoologist William Doherty, who explored Southeast Asia in the late 1800s. The term banded refers to the bird's eye-catching horizontal stripes across its chest and belly, a bold pattern that makes this small bird unforgettable. This pitta is small, but incredibly striking, measuring just 7 to 8 inches long, about the size of a pencil, yet it wears a coat of colors worthy of royalty. Males feature a deep blue crown, black mask, and a rich orange-yellow band across the chest, with blue, black, and yellow streaks along the sides and flanks. Females are similarly patterned, but slightly duller in color. The wings and tail flash with iridescent blue and purple as they move. Despite their brilliance, these birds are masters of stealth, spending most of their time quietly hopping through the leaf litter, hidden by dappled light and dense vegetation. The lesser Bornean banded pitta feeds mainly on insects, ants, beetles, small worms, and other invertebrates, which it forages for on the forest floor by flipping over leaves and probing the soft soil. While its exact lifespan in the wild is still uncertain, similar pittas live around 8 to 12 years. Sadly, due to habitat destruction and illegal bird trapping, this beautiful species is becoming increasingly hard to find. But for those lucky enough to witness one, the lesser Bornean banded pitta is a glowing example of why Indonesia's rainforest birds are considered among the most beautiful in the world. Javanese trogon, Harpactes duvocelli. Deep in the shaded forest of Java, a flash of crimson and a soft, echoing call reveal the presence of a bird both quiet and extraordinary, the Javanese trogon. This elegant forest dweller is a subspecies of the orange-breasted trogon, and it lives only in the dense, humid mountain forests of Java. Its scientific name, Harpactes duvocelli, honors Alfred Duvaucel, a French naturalist who explored Southeast Asia in the early 1800s. Trogons are an ancient family of birds known for their soft feathers, bright colors, and stillness, often going unnoticed despite their beauty. In Indonesia, the Javanese trogon is a secret jewel of the canopy. The Javanese trogon is medium-sized, measuring about 9 to 10 inches long, roughly the size of a paperback book. Males are particularly eye-catching, with a bright orange breast, olive-green back, and a blue-gray head accented by a striking yellow ring around the eye. Their tail is long and patterned in black and white, while the wings are subtly spotted. Females are less vivid, with more muted tones, helping them blend into the foliage while nesting. These birds often perch silently for long periods, scanning for insects and avoiding movement, which makes them harder to spot but all the more rewarding when seen. Javanese trogons are insectivores, feeding primarily on caterpillars, beetles, grasshoppers, and occasionally small fruits. They hunt from low perches, swooping out to snatch prey before returning to the same branch. Though their lifespan in the wild isn't precisely known, related species can live 10 to 12 years or more. Sadly, deforestation in Java is putting pressure on their habitat, and sightings are becoming increasingly rare. But for those who catch a glimpse, the Javanese trogon leaves a lasting impression, a quiet guardian of the forest, cloaked in color and mystery. Kingbird of paradise, Cicinurus magnificus. The kingbird of paradise is a small bird, measuring about 9 inches long, but its presence is unforgettable. Males are especially eye-catching, with iridescent green and yellow feathers, a vibrant orange chest, and a distinctive long tail adorned with delicate, flowing plumes. The males perform stunning courtship displays, fluttering and twisting in the air, showcasing their extraordinary tail feathers. Females are less flamboyant, with more muted colors to help them blend in while nesting. Primarily frugivorous, the kingbird of paradise feeds on fruits, berries, and occasionally small insects. During the breeding season, males put on an extravagant show to attract mates, and the female builds a nest in the forest canopy, laying a few eggs. However, habitat loss due to deforestation and the pet trade threatens their population. Despite these challenges, the kingbird of paradise remains one of nature's most breathtaking spectacles, a fleeting symbol of the rainforest's beauty and mystery. Wilson's bird of paradise, Cicinurus respublica. Wilson's bird of paradise is a small bird, measuring about 6 inches long, but its bright, iridescent feathers make it hard to miss. Males are particularly striking, with an array of vibrant colors, including deep blues, bright reds, and yellow accents on their wings and tail. The male's most remarkable feature is his long, ornate tail feathers that flare out like a fan during mating displays, paired with an intricate dance to attract females. Females, in contrast, are more subtly colored in browns and greens, providing them with the perfect camouflage while nesting. This species is primarily insectivorous and feeds on a variety of insects, fruits, and seeds. During the breeding season, males perform their mesmerizing courtship dances on a selected perch, aiming to impress potential mates with their dazzling plumage and complex movements. Sadly, due to habitat destruction and the limited range of this bird, Wilson's bird of paradise faces significant conservation challenges. Despite its rarity, this bird remains a breathtaking symbol of the vibrant and delicate ecosystems of Indonesia. Java sparrow, Pitta oryzivora. On the tropical island of Java, a tiny bird with a tuxedo-like appearance and a bright pink beak has captured hearts for centuries. The Java sparrow. Despite its name, this bird isn't a true sparrow but a member of the finch family. Its scientific name, Pitta oryzivora, literally means rice eater, oryza being Latin for rice, which makes perfect sense considering this bird's favorite food. Once common throughout Java and Bali, the Java sparrow has become an iconic part of Indonesia's avian heritage, even appearing in traditional artwork and poetry. This species is small, measuring about 5.5 to 6 inches long, roughly the size of a smartphone. It has a smooth, silver-gray body, a white cheek patch, a contrasting black head cap, and a thick, bubblegum pink beak that looks almost oversized for its face. Its eyes are surrounded by a red eye ring, adding even more charm to its already expressive features. Males and females look very similar, and both give off a series of soft chirps and whistles that add gentle sound to rice fields and gardens. It's a bird that looks dressed for a formal occasion, yet lives close to the ground, among farmers and village life. The Java sparrow's diet consists mainly of grains and seeds, especially rice, which has made it both admired and considered a pest by local farmers. In the wild, it also eats grass seeds and small insects. These birds are highly social, often found in flocks, and they nest in tree cavities, building crevices or even thatched roofs. The female typically lays 4 to 6 eggs, and both parents help raise the chicks. While they can live up to 7 to 10 years in the wild, they may live longer in captivity. Sadly, despite once being widespread, the Java sparrow is now listed as endangered in the wild due to trapping for the pet trade and habitat loss. Still, this elegant little bird remains a national treasure, a reminder of the beauty that often lives right outside our windows. Sumatran ground cuckoo, Carpococcix viridis. Deep within the thick, misty rainforests of Sumatra, there lurks a bird so rare and secretive that it was once believed extinct. This is the Sumatran ground cuckoo, one of Indonesia's most mysterious and elusive species. The name Carpococcix viridis gives clues about its identity. Carpococcix refers to its genus of large ground-dwelling cuckoos, while viridis is Latin for green, referencing the bird's iridescent green plumage. First discovered over a century ago, it disappeared from scientific record for decades and was only rediscovered in the wild in 1997, turning it into a symbol of hope for bird conservation in Southeast Asia. The Sumatran ground cuckoo is a fairly large bird, growing up to 20 inches long, or about the size of a house cat. Its plumage is mostly dark green with metallic shine, blending perfectly with the jungle understory. It has a long, graduated tail, strong legs for walking, and a distinctive bare patch of blue skin around the eye, adding a splash of unexpected color to its otherwise forest-toned body. Unlike many cuckoos, it doesn't fly much. Instead, it walks or runs swiftly across the forest floor, using stealth and speed to stay hidden from predators and people alike. What we do know is that its population is critically endangered, with fewer than 250 individuals estimated to remain in the wild. Habitat loss from deforestation and logging continues to threaten its survival. With such limited sightings and so much yet to be learned, the Sumatran ground cuckoo remains one of Indonesia's most fascinating birds. A rare forest shadow, cloaked in green, still hiding secrets in the heart of Sumatra. Bornean bristlehead, Pitta gymnocephala. In the lowland rainforests of Borneo, a strange and striking bird moves through the treetops. Bold in color, mysterious in behavior, and unlike anything else on Earth. This is the Bornean bristlehead, a rare and unusual species found only on the island of Borneo, including the Indonesian region of Kalimantan. The name Pitta gymnocephala says a lot about the bird. Gymnocephala means bald-headed in Greek, referring to the bare, featherless patch on its head, while bristlehead describes the short, wiry bristles that stand out from the crown. For years, scientists debated where exactly this bird fit in the tree of life. And even today, it remains an evolutionary puzzle. The Bornean bristlehead is a medium-sized bird measuring about 9 to 10 inches long, roughly the size of a paperback book. Its body is covered in glossy black feathers, sharply contrasted by a vivid scarlet-red head and upper chest, with that distinctive bare patch of reddish skin on the crown. Its jerky movements and clownish appearance make it one of the most recognizable and bizarre birds in the Bornean rainforest. The Bornean bristlehead is omnivorous, feeding on a variety of insects, spiders, small vertebrates, and fruit. Little is known about its breeding habits in the wild, but it's believed to nest in tree cavities, like many other forest birds. With limited data, its exact lifespan remains unclear, though its population is classified as near-threatened, mostly due to habitat destruction from logging and palm oil expansion. Rare, eccentric, and evolutionarily unique, the Bornean bristlehead is one of Indonesia's true avian oddities, a bird that proves beauty doesn't always follow the rules. Moluccan kingfisher, Todiramphus macleayi. In the tropical forests and coastal mangroves of Indonesia's Maluku Islands, also known as the Moluccas, flashes of sapphire and white dart between the trees. This is the Moluccan kingfisher, a beautiful and elusive bird found across the eastern Indonesian archipelagos. Its scientific name, Todiramphus macleayi, honors William Macleay, an Australian naturalist, while Moluccan refers to its primary home range. Like other kingfishers, it's known for its keen eyesight, rapid flight, and bold coloration. But this species stands out with its distinct island charm and tropical beauty. The Moluccan kingfisher is a medium-sized bird, measuring about 9 to 10 inches long, roughly the length of a standard tablet. It has a bright turquoise blue back, wings, and tail, contrasting with a snow-white chest and throat. A striking black eye stripe runs across its face, giving it a sharp and confident look. Its bill is long, straight, and black, perfectly designed for catching prey. This kingfisher prefers to perch quietly before making sudden, fast dives to grab food. Despite its bold colors, it can be surprisingly hard to spot in the shadows of the forest canopy or against the bright sky. Unlike the name kingfisher might suggest, the Moluccan kingfisher doesn't always hunt fish. It feeds mostly on insects, small lizards, and sometimes frogs, striking from perches with impressive speed and accuracy. It nests in tree cavities or riverbanks where the female lays 2 to 4 eggs. Both parents help raise the chicks until they fledge. While its exact lifespan isn't well documented, kingfishers in the wild can live up to 10 years. Though not currently considered endangered, habitat loss across the islands continues to pose long-term risks. With its electric colors and swift movements, the Moluccan kingfisher is a living gem of Indonesia's island forests. Vibrant, graceful, and always one step ahead of the eye. Sulawesi pitta, Pitta oenoclamis. Hidden beneath the dense rainforest canopy of Sulawesi, a splash of color darts across the forest floor. A secretive bird that few people ever see, yet never forget. This is the Sulawesi pitta, a striking, ground-dwelling species found only on this large Indonesian island. Its scientific name, Pitta oenoclamis, blends Greek roots meaning wine-colored cloak, a poetic nod to its bold plumage. The name pitta refers to a genus of vibrantly colored insect-eating birds often found in Southeast Asia's tropical forests. True to its name, the Sulawesi pitta wears its colors like a royal robe, rich, unexpected, and dazzling in the shadows. This pitta is small and compact, measuring about 7 inches long, roughly the size of a pencil, but its coloration is truly unforgettable. Its back and wings are deep emerald green, while the underparts flash vivid cobalt blue. A bold crimson belly adds contrast, and a dark face mask gives it a sleek, mysterious look. Despite its bright feathers, this bird blends surprisingly well into the dim understory, where light is low and movement is subtle. It prefers to hop rather than fly, making short, fast movements as it forages across the forest floor, like a living gem tucked into the leaf litter. The Sulawesi pitta is insectivorous, feeding mainly on insects, spiders, earthworms, and other small invertebrates it finds by probing through soil and fallen leaves. Little is known about its nesting habits, but like other pittas, it likely builds a dome-shaped nest close to the ground, well hidden in dense vegetation. The female typically lays 2 to 4 eggs, and both parents may help raise the chicks. Its exact lifespan in the wild remains unclear, though similar species live around 8 to 12 years. Endemic to Sulawesi, and increasingly threatened by habitat loss, the Sulawesi pitta is a quiet treasure of the island's forest floor, proof that even the most vivid colors can hide in the darkest places. Sunda pygmy woodpecker, Dendrocopos molochensis. In the forests and woodlands of Sumatra, Java, and nearby Sunda Islands, a tiny tap-tap-tapping sound reveals the presence of one of Indonesia's smallest woodpeckers, the Sunda pygmy woodpecker. Despite its size, this bird is a master of agility and rhythm. Its name Dendrocopos means tree cutter in Greek, referencing its woodpecking behavior, while molochensis likely refers to the Maluku, Moluccan Islands, where related forms were once believed to occur. Though pygmy might suggest fragility, this little bird is bold, fast-moving, and always busy, earning its place among the forest's most energetic foragers. The Sunda pygmy woodpecker is truly tiny, measuring just 4 to 5 inches long, about the length of a credit card. But don't let its small size fool you. This bird is packed with personality. Its plumage is mostly brownish-gray with black and white barring on the back and wings, while the crown may show a red patch in males, giving them a subtle pop of color. Its tail is short and stiff, helping it balance vertically on trees, and its beak is small but strong, perfect for tapping into bark in search of food. With quick, jerky movements and a cheerful call, this little woodpecker is full of character. The Sunda pygmy woodpecker feeds on tiny insects, larvae, ants, and spiders, using its beak to peck and probe into bark crevices. It's often seen darting up tree trunks or hanging upside down on branches, foraging alone or in small family groups. Nesting takes place in tree holes, often excavated by the pair themselves. The female lays 2 to 4 eggs, and both parents share incubation and chick-rearing duties. In the wild, they're believed to live up to 6 to 8 years. Though common in some areas, habitat degradation can affect their numbers. Java kingfisher, Alcedo athis, Along the rivers and rice paddies of Java, a flash of electric blue zips past the water's surface, fast, silent, and dazzling. This is the Java kingfisher, a local name often used for the common kingfisher, Alcedo atus, when referring to its populations found in Indonesia. The name Alcedo comes from Latin, meaning kingfisher, while atus is a poetic reference to a figure from ancient Greek literature, symbolizing elegance and beauty. Although this species is found across parts of Europe and Asia, the individuals living in Java represent one of the most vibrant and striking populations, making it a true standout among Indonesia's river birds. This kingfisher is small and compact, measuring around 6 to 7 inches long, about the size of a smartphone. It's known for its brilliant metallic blue back and head, paired with a rich orange chest and belly. The bill is long, sharp, and dark, built for precision fishing, and the legs are bright red, offering a pop of color against the green riverbanks. Males and females look quite similar, with only subtle differences in beak coloration. Despite its bold appearance, the Java kingfisher is surprisingly shy, often seen only as a quick blue flash before vanishing into the reeds. As a carnivore, the Java kingfisher feeds mostly on small fish, aquatic insects, and tadpoles, diving from low branches into shallow waters with impressive speed and accuracy. Maleo, Macrocephalon maleo. On the Indonesian island of Sulawesi, there lives a bird so unusual, it buries its eggs in hot sand or volcanic soil to incubate them. This is the maleo, a rare and truly fascinating species found nowhere else on Earth. Its scientific name, Macrocephalon maleo, comes from Greek, with macrocephalon meaning large head, referring to the bird's prominent forehead and cask-like crest. The name maleo is derived from its local name in Sulawesi. This bird isn't just biologically unique. It's a living symbol of Indonesia's evolutionary wonders, and one of the most remarkable ground nesters in the animal kingdom. The maleo is about the size of a chicken, measuring around 20 to 24 inches long. Its body is covered in glossy black feathers, with a rosy salmon-colored belly and a bare yellow-orange face. Its most striking feature is the black helmet-shaped crest on top of its head, giving it an almost prehistoric look. Long legs and large feet make it well-suited for digging, and both males and females take part in preparing the nest site. Despite being capable of flight, the maleo spends most of its time on the ground, moving through forests in pairs or small groups. Unlike most birds, the maleo doesn't incubate its eggs with body heat. Instead, it lays a single very large egg, about 5 times the size of a chicken's, into warm sand or geothermal soil, often on beaches or volcanic plains. After burying the egg up to 3 feet deep, the parents leave and never return. When the chick hatches, it must dig itself out and head straight into the forest. Fully feathered and able to fly within hours, the maleo feeds on a variety of fruits, seeds, insects, and small invertebrates, and can live up to 10 to 15 years in the wild. Unfortunately, this species is listed as critically endangered due to egg poaching and habitat loss. But conservation efforts are underway to protect this incredible bird, one of Indonesia's most unique and beautiful wildlife treasures. Ivory-breasted pitta, Pitta maxima. In the dense lowland forests of northern Maluku, Indonesia, a flash of color on the forest floor marks the presence of one of Indonesia's most stunning. This is the ivory-breasted pitta, a ground-dwelling species found only on a few islands, including Halmahera. Its name, Pitta maxima, translates to largest pitta, referring to its size, while ivory-breasted highlights its most distinctive feature, a creamy white breast that stands out boldly against the surrounding dark rainforest. With its rich colors and secretive habits, this pitta is a hidden gem of Indonesia's island ecosystems. The ivory-breasted pitta, it boasts a vibrant green back, turquoise blue wings, and a velvety black head and face, which sharply contrast with its ivory white chest and belly. A splash of deep red on the lower belly completes its striking look. Despite its vivid appearance, the bird is remarkably shy, preferring to remain low and hidden as it hops through the undergrowth. It uses short bursts of movement and stillness to stay unnoticed by predators and people alike. This pitta feeds mainly on insects, snails, worms, and other small invertebrates, which it finds by flipping over leaf litter with its strong beak. It nests in dome-shaped structures on or near the ground, usually tucked away in thick vegetation. The female lays 2 to 4 eggs, and both parents may help raise the chicks. While its exact lifespan is still unknown, pittas of similar size typically live 8 to 12 years in the wild. The ivory-breasted pitta is currently listed as near threatened, primarily due to deforestation and habitat loss. Yet for those who venture into the forests of northern Maluku, spotting this elegant white-chested beauty feels like uncovering a secret, a rare glimpse of one of Indonesia's most breathtaking forest birds. Wallace's standard wing, Semioptera wallacei. Deep in the lush forests of Halmahera, part of Indonesia's Maluku Islands, lives a bird with a name tied to history and wings unlike any other. This is Wallace's standard wing, a lesser-known but spectacular member of the bird of paradise family. It was first discovered in the 19th century by famed naturalist Alfred Russel Wallace, who was so taken by its elegance and uniqueness that the bird now bears his name. The word standard wing refers to the bird's most eye-catching feature, a pair of long, ornamental feathers that extend like streamers from its wings, rising, fluttering, and shimmering during its elaborate courtship display. The Wallace's standard wing is medium-sized, measuring around 10 to 11 inches long, or about the length of a standard tablet. Its body is mostly olive green and brown, but the male sports dazzling accents, a shimmering emerald green breast shield, a pale lavender cape that rises during display, and of course, the signature white, flag-like plumes projecting from the bend of each wing. These feathers can be raised vertically like banners or waved in rhythm during its dance, which takes place in communal display sites known as leks. Females, by contrast, are more muted in tone, choosing mates based on the male's dance performance, feather quality, and energy. Wallace's standard wing feeds primarily on fruits and insects, foraging quietly among the treetops. It plays an important role in seed dispersal, contributing to the health of its rainforest habitat. During breeding season, males gather in groups to perform their aerial ballet, while females nest alone, building small cup-shaped nests in high tree branches. The female lays 1 or 2 eggs and raises the chick without help from the male. Though not currently endangered, this bird is threatened by habitat loss and deforestation on the islands. Still, for those lucky enough to witness its sky dance through shafts of tropical sunlight, Wallace's standard wing is a living link between science, history, and the wild magic of Indonesia's forests. Orange-footed scrubfowl, Megapodius rhinewort. Along the tropical coastlines and forest floors of eastern Indonesia, there lives a bird that doesn't sit on its eggs. It buries them. This is the megapode, also known as the orange-footed scrubfowl, a unique species found in the Lesser Sunda Islands, Maluku, and parts of Papua. Its scientific name, Megapodius rhinewort, comes from Greek. Megapodius means large-footed, referring to the bird's strong legs and oversized feet used for digging. The species was named in honor of Caspar Reinward, a Dutch naturalist who studied the region's rich biodiversity. Though it may look like an ordinary ground bird at first glance, the megapode's behavior is anything but ordinary. The orange-footed scrub fowl is medium-sized, measuring about 14 to 16 inches long, similar in size to a domestic chicken. Its plumage is mostly dark brown to grayish-black, with a small head, bare reddish-orange face, and striking bright orange legs and feet. Unlike other birds that build nests in trees or incubate eggs with body heat, the megapode uses its feet to construct large mounds of soil, sand, and decaying vegetation. These natural incubators generate heat as the materials decompose, keeping the eggs warm without any parental contact. It's an evolutionary marvel, and a behavior found in very few birds on Earth. The megapode is omnivorous, feeding on insects, worms, seeds, fruits, and fallen plant material. It forages mostly on the forest floor, scratching through leaf litter with its powerful feet. After the female lays her eggs inside the mound, both parents may maintain the structure, adding or removing material to regulate the temperature. Once hatched, the chicks dig their way out and are completely independent from the moment they emerge, able to fly and feed themselves within hours. In the wild, megapodes can live 10 to 15 years, depending on environmental conditions. With their prehistoric look and highly unusual nesting strategy, these birds are a fascinating reminder of just how inventive nature can be. Why? Indonesia remains one of the world's most extraordinary havens for biodiversity. Wreathed hornbill, Rhinoceros undulatus. In the misty treetops of Indonesia's eastern islands, a deep, echoing wingbeat signals the arrival of a truly majestic bird, the Moluccan hornbill. Also known as the wreathed hornbill, this species is found in the Maluku Islands and parts of Sulawesi and Papua, making it one of Indonesia's most iconic and eye-catching forest birds. Its scientific name, Rhinoceros undulatus, combines Latin and Greek roots. Rhinoceros means wrinkled horn, while undulatus refers to the wavy pattern often seen on the casque, the helmet-like structure on top of its large beak. With its powerful presence and unique silhouette, the Moluccan hornbill is impossible to mistake. This hornbill is large and striking, measuring between 30 and 36 inches long, with a wingspan that can reach 5 feet. Males have a black body, a white tail, and a bright yellow throat pouch, while females typically have a blue throat pouch. Both sexes have a prominent arched casque on top of their oversized beak, which is used for sound resonance and species recognition. Their long eyelashes, expressive eyes, and graceful flight give them a prehistoric yet elegant look. When flying through the canopy, their wings make a deep rhythmic whooshing sound, as if the forest itself is breathing. The Moluccan hornbill is primarily frugivorous, feeding on figs, berries, and other fruits, but it will also eat insects and small animals when available. It plays a vital role in forest ecosystems by dispersing seeds across large areas. Its nesting behavior is one of the most fascinating in the bird world. The female seals herself inside a tree cavity using mud and food remains, leaving only a narrow slit through which the male passes food. She remains there for several weeks while laying eggs and raising chicks. In the wild, hornbills can live up to 35 years. Sadly, habitat loss and hunting continue to threaten this extraordinary species. Black-necked stork, Ivory-breasted asiaticus. Towering over wetlands and riverbanks, the black-necked stork is one of the tallest and most striking birds you can encounter in parts of eastern Indonesia, especially in Papua and nearby lowland floodplains. Its scientific name, Ivory-breasted asiaticus, is as unique as its appearance. Ivory-breasted means saddle bill, referring to the shape of the beak, while asiaticus points to its Asian range. While this species is more widespread across northern Australia and South Asia, It also makes a bold appearance in Indonesia, standing out in any landscape it inhabits. This stork is impressively large, reaching 50 to 60 inches tall, with a wingspan that can stretch over 7 feet, wider than the average adult human is tall. Its plumage is mostly glossy white, but its name comes from the shimmering black neck and head, which gleams with iridescent green and purple tones under the sunlight. Its bill is long, straight, and jet black, giving it a commanding presence. The legs are bright reddish pink, and the eyes, yellow in females, dark in males, add a surprising level of intensity to its already regal appearance. When in flight, it soars gracefully with slow, powerful wing beats that give it a majestic silhouette against the sky. The black-necked stork is carnivorous, feeding on a variety of fish, frogs, crustaceans, reptiles, and even small birds and mammals. It typically hunts in shallow wetlands, using its sharp bill to strike prey with precision. During breeding season, pairs build large stick nests high in trees, often reusing the same nest year after year. The female usually lays 2 to 4 eggs, and both parents take part in raising the young. This species can live up to 20 to 30 years in the wild. With its towering form, shimmering feathers, and elegant flight, the black-necked stork is a true giant of Indonesia's bird world, both beautiful and unforgettable. Long-tailed parakeet, Psittacula longicauda, in the lush rainforests of Sumatra, a flash of emerald wings and a sharp whistling call reveal the presence of a sleek, elegant bird, the Sumatran green-winged parrot. This bird is a subspecies of the long-tailed parakeet, scientifically known as Psittacula longicauda, a name that quite literally means long tail in Latin. Native to parts of Southeast Asia, the Sumatran form is distinct to western Indonesia, where it thrives in primary forest and lowland habitats. Its name reflects both its appearance and its tropical roots. A parrot with unmistakable green wings and a tail that trails like a ribbon through the trees. The green-winged parrot is medium-sized, measuring about 16 inches in length, most of which comes from its impressively long, tapering tail. Its plumage is a vibrant mix of leafy green, with bluish-green highlights on the wings and a deep red patch at the bend of the wing that gives the species its common name. Males sport a bold black stripe across the face and a faint pink collar, while females are slightly plainer but equally graceful. Their eyes are alert and intelligent, and their hooked beaks, a classic parrot feature, are perfect for cracking nuts and manipulating fruit. When in flight, their long tails and fast wing beats create a graceful, almost ribbon-like motion in the canopy. This parrot feeds on a variety of fruits, seeds, nuts, and blossoms, foraging high in the treetops and sometimes venturing into cultivated areas. Social and vocal, they often travel in flocks and are known for their loud, high-pitched calls that echo through the forest. In the wild, they can live up to 20 years, though their numbers are decreasing due to habitat loss and capture for the pet trade. Still, the Sumatran green-winged parrot remains one of Indonesia's most graceful and visually stunning birds, a true forest jewel with wings built for both beauty and flight. Rolulus rulul, crested partridge. Deep in the shadowy undergrowth of Indonesia's tropical rainforests lives a bird that seems plucked from a fairy tale, small, round-bodied, and crowned with a soft red plume. This is the crested partridge, also known by its scientific name Rolulus rulul, one of the few birds in the genus Rolulus. The name rulul is believed to be onomatopoeic, echoing the soft, rolling call that these shy birds use to communicate through dense jungle. Native to Sumatra, Borneo, and parts of the Malay Peninsula, this ground-dwelling bird is a true hidden gem of Southeast Asian forests, rarely seen, but unforgettable when spotted. The crested partridge is a small, plump bird, measuring around 10 to 11 inches long, about the size of a melon. Males are especially striking, with a glossy dark green to blue-black body, a bright crimson crest, scarlet legs, and a distinctive white spot on the face. Females are more subtly colored, with olive-green plumage and a similar red crown, though slightly shorter and duller. Their round body shape and bouncy walk give them a unique, almost cartoon-like presence on the forest floor. They prefer to walk rather than fly, quickly disappearing into vegetation at the first sign of danger, a true master of camouflage. Crested partridges are omnivorous, feeding on a mix of seeds, fruits, small invertebrates, and insects, which they find by scratching through leaf litter. In the wild, these birds can live up to 8 to 10 years, though their secretive nature makes them difficult to study. While not currently endangered, habitat destruction poses a growing threat. With its jewel-toned feathers, distinctive crest, and quiet forest life, the crested partridge is a perfect symbol of Indonesia's hidden rainforest beauty. Small, elusive, and completely enchanting. Yellow-eyed babbler, Chrysoma sinensis. In the grassy meadows and scrublands of southern and eastern Asia, including parts of western Indonesia, a small bird with an intense stare flits between bushes and tall grasses. This is the yellow-eyed babbler, a species that gets its name from one of its most unmistakable features, its bright yellow-orange eyes, which stand out dramatically against its soft plumage. The scientific name, Chrysoma sinensis, loosely translates to golden eye from China, though its range extends well into Sumatra and nearby islands, where it thrives in open country and edge habitats. This babbler is small and compact, measuring about 7 inches long, about the size of a pencil. Its plumage is a delicate blend of warm brown on the back, whitish underparts, and a soft, rufous wash on the flanks. But the real showstopper is the vivid yellow eye, set against a black eye ring and a pale face, giving the bird an alert and slightly mischievous look. Its short, rounded wings and longish tail make it well suited for low, fluttering flights between shrubs and grass stalks. Often seen in pairs or small chatty groups, yellow-eyed babblers are active, vocal, and surprisingly bold for their size. The yellow-eyed babbler feeds on a mix of insects, caterpillars, small invertebrates, and occasionally seeds and berries. Both parents take part in raising the young, feeding them constantly with protein-rich insects. In the wild, they can live up to 7 or 8 years, though their lives are often hidden from view within dense brush. Though common in some parts of its range, its adaptability to different habitats, including farmlands and grasslands, has helped it maintain stable populations. With its piercing eyes, inquisitive nature, and secretive lifestyle, the yellow-eyed babbler brings a quiet but captivating charm to Indonesia's avian world. Sulawesi ground dove, Gallicolumba tristigmata. In the forest undergrowth of Sulawesi, where sunlight filters gently through the canopy, lives a bird so quiet and elusive that even experienced birdwatchers may never catch a glimpse. This is the Sulawesi ground dove, a rare and beautifully understated species found only on a few Indonesian islands. Its scientific name, Gallicolumba sulfurea, blends Latin and Greek. Gallicolumba, meaning chicken pigeon, for its plump, ground-walking posture, and sulfurea, referring to the soft yellowish tones sometimes seen in its plumage. Endemic to Sulawesi and nearby islands, this dove is a true island treasure, hidden, gentle, and deeply tied to Indonesia's vanishing lowland forests. The Sulawesi ground dove is small and round-bodied, measuring about 9 to 10 inches long, roughly the size of a grapefruit. Its plumage is a subtle blend of grayish-brown with hints of olive, often with a faint iridescence on the neck and a lighter belly. Unlike more flamboyant birds, its beauty lies in the softness of its tones and the way it melts into its forest surroundings. Its behavior is just as quiet. It forages slowly along the forest floor, walking with delicate steps, rarely flying unless startled. With its low profile and preference for dense cover, this dove is one of the most secretive ground birds in Indonesia. The Sulawesi ground dove feeds on fallen seeds, small fruits, and insects, carefully searching the leaf litter for food. Both parents share nesting and chick-rearing duties. Its lifespan in the wild is believed to be up to 10 years, though little is known due to its elusive nature. Yet for those lucky enough to encounter one, the Sulawesi ground dove is a quiet symbol of resilience, a soft-footed wanderer of the shadows, and one of Indonesia's most delicately beautiful birds. Yellow-rumped flycatcher, Phaistula xanthopigia. In the cool, misty forests of Borneo, a quick flash of yellow and a fluttering call reveal one of the island's most charming little birds, the Borneo yellow-rumped flycatcher. This elegant songbird belongs to the flycatcher family, known for their acrobatic foraging skills and beautiful melodies. Its scientific name, Phaistula westermanni, honors Gerrit Peter Westerman, a 19th-century Dutch ornithologist. The common name highlights its most distinctive feature, the vibrant yellow patch on its lower back, which glows like a brushstroke of sunlight as it moves through the forest shadows. This flycatcher is small and delicate, measuring around 4.5 to 5 inches long, similar in size to a sparrow. Males are especially eye-catching, with a rich black head and upper body, a white wing patch, and that signature yellow rump. The underparts are pale or buff-colored, making the yellow and black stand out even more in the forest light. Females are duller, more olive and gray, but still retain the yellow rump patch. These birds are typically seen alone or in pairs, hopping between low branches and making quick darting flights to snatch insects mid-air. As an insectivore, the Borneo yellow-rumped flycatcher feeds primarily on flies, beetles, moths, and caterpillars, using its keen eyesight and agility to grab prey mid-flight or from leaves. Though their exact lifespan in the wild isn't well documented, similar species live 5 to 8 years. While not currently endangered, their forest habitat is vulnerable to logging and land conversion. Small but striking, the Borneo yellow-rumped flycatcher is a quiet jewel of Indonesia's montane forests, a reminder that sometimes the most beautiful things are also the easiest to miss. Blue-crowned hanging parrot, Loriculus galgulus. High in the canopy of Indonesia's tropical rainforests, where the leaves glow in dappled sunlight, you might just catch a glimpse of a tiny green jewel, the blue-crowned hanging parrot. Native to Sumatra, Borneo, and nearby islands, this miniature parrot is part of the Loriculus genus, known for their unique behavior. They sleep hanging upside down like bats, clinging to twigs with their feet. The name blue-crowned refers to the shimmering blue patch on the top of the male's head, while galgulus is an old Latin term once used to describe small birds that hung from branches, a nod to this parrot's curious roosting style. This bird is very small, measuring only about 5 inches in length, roughly the size of a smartphone. Its body is a vivid leafy green, with males sporting a bright blue crown, a red throat patch, and a touch of red on the rump and underwings. Females are slightly duller, but still show the red rump and green brilliance. Their short tails and rounded wings make them agile flyers, zipping through dense foliage with remarkable speed. Despite their bold colors, they're surprisingly hard to spot unless you know what to look or listen for. The blue-crowned hanging parrot feeds mostly on nectar, fruit, flowers, and soft seeds, often seen foraging quietly in the upper canopy. These parrots can live up to 10 to 12 years in the wild, though their small size makes them vulnerable to deforestation and trapping for the pet trade. White-collared myna, Streptoceta albicollis. In the remote highland forests of Sulawesi, a bird with sharp contrasts and elegant charm moves gracefully through the trees. This is the white-collared myna, a species found only in Indonesia, making it one of the country's true endemic treasures. Its scientific name, Streptoceta albicollis, tells its story. Streptoceta roughly means collar magpie, and albicollis comes from Latin, meaning white neck. That name fits perfectly. This bird wears what looks like a formal white collar around its neck, giving it a striking and refined appearance that sets it apart from other mynas. The white-collared myna is a medium-sized bird, measuring about 12 to 13 inches long, with a long tail and sleek body shape. Its plumage is a glossy black on the head, back, and wings, contrasted with a bright white collar, chest, and belly. The bill is ivory-colored and slightly curved, giving it a sharp, expressive look, while its pale yellow eyes give off a curious intensity. The long tail feathers sway behind it as it moves from branch to branch, and when in flight it's nothing short of graceful. This species is often seen in pairs or small groups, moving high in the canopy or making brief visits to fruiting trees. Like many mynas, this bird is omnivorous, feeding on a variety of fruits, berries, insects, and small invertebrates. It plays an important role in seed dispersal, helping maintain the health of Sulawesi's forest ecosystems. In the wild, the white-collared myna can live up to 10 to 12 years, although its populations are currently under threat due to habitat loss and forest degradation. With its bold markings, gentle intelligence, and island exclusivity, the white-collared myna is more than just a beautiful bird. It's a symbol of Sulawesi's unique natural heritage. Red-faced cormorant, Phalacrocorax urile. Along the rocky coastlines and island cliffs of Indonesia's far eastern waters, a sleek black seabird emerges from the surf with a flash of red on its face and a fish clamped tightly in its beak. This is the red-faced cormorant, a striking coastal bird more commonly associated with the North Pacific, but found in remote Indonesian waters near Papua and the northern archipelagos. Its scientific name, Phalacrocorax urile, comes from Greek. Phalacrocorax, meaning bald raven, a classic name for cormorants, and urile, which is a local Aleut term describing the bird. The red-faced part of its common name comes from the bare, vibrant red skin on its face, which becomes especially bright during breeding season. The red-faced cormorant is a medium to large seabird, measuring 25 to 30 inches long, with a wingspan of up to 40 inches. Its body is coated in shiny black feathers with a greenish-blue sheen, and during the breeding season, it displays two elegant white plumes behind each eye, like natural earrings. But the most eye-catching feature is that bright red facial patch, a stark contrast to its dark feathers. With webbed feet and a streamlined body, this bird is built for diving. It can plunge deep beneath the surface, chasing fish with swift underwater agility. This species feeds mainly on small fish and marine invertebrates, diving for its meals in cold, nutrient-rich waters. Red-faced cormorants nest on cliff ledges or rocky islands, often in tight colonies. Though not globally endangered, localized populations may be threatened by marine pollution, overfishing, and human disturbance. The red-faced cormorant may not be as widely known in Indonesia as its tropical cousins, but its bold features and coastal lifestyle make it one of the archipelago's most unexpected and charismatic seabirds. Proof that beauty often hides where land meets sea. For millions of years, Indonesia's birds have flourished in the country's diverse and untouched ecosystems, soaring over volcanic peaks, nesting in ancient rainforests, and singing through dense jungles. And for a brief moment, we've had the privilege of witnessing their magnificence. But this extraordinary beauty is under threat. Deforestation, climate change, and human encroachment are increasingly jeopardizing the habitats that sustain these rare species. What nature has carefully nurtured over generations can be lost in a blink. However, there is hope. By staying informed and raising awareness, we can protect these wonders for future generations. When we recognize the value of these creatures, we take action. If this journey has inspired you, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and share your thoughts in the comments below.